Yeah, baby.
The path of the righteous man is beset on all sides by the iniquities of the selfish and the tyranny of evil men. Blessed is he who in the name of charity and goodwill shepherds the weak through the valley of darkness, for he is truly his brother's keeper and the finder of lost children. And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers. And you will know my name is the Lord when I lay my vengeance upon thee.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Jim. Today, I'm going to talk to you about e-brakes. You know, those little lever things in the middle you pull up to make your car slide like crazy. Or I guess you could use them in emergencies or park, but that's what we're talking about today.
Starting with the handbrake turn. A favourite of rally drivers and stunt drivers, its prime purpose is to turn a car round in the narrowest possible space.
Turn. I pull the wheel to the left, hit the handbrake, we do a 180, cross the median, drive right past it. You know how to do that, Dad? If Vin Diesel can do it, so can I. Why are you as good as Vin Diesel? Hang on! That's not what I was trying to do.
Well, here we are, sitting in the beautiful Z4, and the interior is almost good to go. But I've got something here. Let me show you. And it's this. It's the emergency brake and the boot. The leather on the handle's not very nice, but the boot especially, this leather here is all dried up and shrunk. You can see it's pulled way back where it's exposing the foam underneath, and there's just no way I can ever stretch that back. It looks like someone even touched up the paint a long time ago before it shrank even more. So what I've got is I ordered this thing on eBay. It's just the leather part. I don't know how hard it's going to be to put on, but it looks okay. The leather seems like it's all right. It was only, I think it was like $17. So today I'm going to see if I can refit the leather cover on this. And I think to get this out, all I have to do is squeeze it a little bit. Yeah. And same up here. Just gonna squeeze it till it pops out and pull it up. And there it is. So if I pull this leather back all the way, I can see where it's been attached just with a zip tie here. So I'm going to cut that zip tie, and that should release the rest of this from the car, and then I can sit at a table and try to apply this after removing the old one. So I'm going to go get a wire cutter to cut the zip tie. All right, I got my little wire cutters. So I'm going to come in here and cut this little zip tie. There we go. And in theory, that should release this to come right off. Yeah, okay. So now we know to put the old or the new one on. Got to pull it on here inside out and then use a zip tie right in this channel right here. And then it'll hold all that down real good. Okay, so let's move to a table. Well, the first thing I want to do before tearing this thing apart too much is I'm going to want to compare what I've got here to what my new one looks like. So I'm going to make sure that This looks like it's going to be a big enough size. It looks like it's the right shape. And I've compared it all pretty good. The stitching isn't nearly as nice in this. This one had a tag on it that said it was made in Mexico. So the leather is pretty nice. The stitching, yeah, not quite as good. But the shape seems to be okay. So let's proceed with going ahead and stripping the old one here. The glue seems real dry, so it's super easy to pull it back with just my thumb, at least on that side. Yeah, it's coming off good all the way around here. That's nice. So then we'll be able to hopefully peel it back from up here without too much damage. Okay, it looks like in a previous repair attempt, someone tried to glue this corner down. That's probably when this little bit of paint here was put on. Somebody tried to re-stretch it. So I'm going to have to use a pick or something to get in here and try to very carefully separate what's left of this foam. I don't want to lose much of the foam. I want it to remain so I can have the original shape. There we go. So we only lost a little bit there, so that's not too bad. Let's continue on carefully, peeling it back. Yeah, it's coming off quite nicely. I'm gonna pull this guy back through the way it would live on the car. And okay, I'm losing a little bit of foam here. Perhaps they tried to glue up here too. Now maybe that's actually glue from the factory. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so these front corners are a little tricky, and I will keep that in mind when I'm trying to reinstall the new one, because let me tell you, there's no going back now. All right, more of the foam, so it's definitely been glued right here in the corner, but we didn't lose too much, just a little. Okay, so now I'm going to use my pick to peel back the little tabs of leather that are glued on this little down piece. This little down piece here, it's just a little loop of plastic, so don't pull on it too hard or you might break it. So let's see. Okay, there's that one. And okay, that's coming off pretty good. Yeah, there's some pretty serious glue right there, which we will replicate. Okay, so there we have the old one removed. Now, for my next trick, I'm going to take this piece, this new one, and I'm going to really carefully overlay the old one and see if I need to actually, like, these corners on the original one here look like they have, they look like they might have been sewn a bit right there. Let's see, and if they have been, then I'm going to try and do that to my original one. Yeah, it looks like there's a little pucker sew right there at the corner. So I might have to get out some needle and thread and do a couple little stitch jobs here. Let me take a closer look and I'll get back with you in a minute. Well, I'm still going at it here. I've kind of located the center point of this boot back here and affixed that with some glue, And then I located the center point here and fixed that with some glue. And now the trick is going to be to go around here and pull it. And you can see where you can make the wrinkles do different stuff by right where you pull. So I'm going to use two hands and go around, and also on the back here when you're going around corners, I'm going to have to make some cuts, some relief cuts that allow the leather to lay easily around the corner, but you don't want your cuts to go too far into the leather because you don't want them to show from the top side here. So that's what I'm going to do, is work around the inside edge and the outside edge, because really all I'm looking for here is the leather here to be smooth. Everything around here is all going to be all wrinkly and loose because it's the boot anyway. So the only part that really has to look smooth and nice is just there. Like here's where the original piece was. So the only part that really has to look well planted on this is just right around here. So if I'm just working from this seam to the corner, to the edge, and this seam around to this edge, then it'll be smooth where it needs to be, and the rest of this can be all loose. And in here, it's even all loose. The shape of the piece that I got isn't quite the same as the original one, but the only place it's really fixed here is right along this little edge. So I'll be doing that, and I'll get back to you. That took way longer than it should have. And I gotta say that this eBay leather replacement is not very good. I guess it's okay to use in a junkyard car, which is basically what we have here. But if I had a really nice Z4 and my emergency brake boot needed to be replaced, I would not use this. I guess the real question is it better than it was? And, you know, that's a subjective thing. I'm going to say yes, it's better than it was. Would I recommend anybody do this? No. The leather that it's made out of is too thick, so that makes it so you can't do all the sharp corners that you have to nicely. It's not the same grain as the original BMW leather. It's sewn in a different style. The stitching is much further apart. I could just go on and on about everything about this thing that is incorrect, but it was $17. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that was with free shipping. So this we can file under you get what you pay for. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this, well, I'd give it, I guess, a 1. But it is better than it was. So there you go. Thanks for watching the Z4. I'm going to wash it tomorrow, and it's going to go back on the road after I clear the computer, and we're back in business. Oh, I hope it passes smog soon.